Hey guys, how are you? Mike here from the Wellness Bucket. Thanks so much for joining me for another Motivation Monday message. Happy you're here and excited to dive into this week's message. So let's go ahead and do that. So, couple of, I think, not even 2 weeks left in this new year. I mean, in this year before the new year, and I'm assuming we're all thinking of things we're going to do in the new year, different goals, different ideas, different things we want to tackle. Whether it's running a marathon or starting a business, writing a book, whatever it may be, and there's probably some things we might steer away from because of fear, and that's what we're going to talk about today. 3 ways to overcome fear so you can go ahead and do and attempt whatever it is you want to do in 2016. So, and let me tell you where this stems from. I actually have a 50-mile run coming up here in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, less than 3 weeks, and that's pretty fearful. It scares the heck out of me just even thinking about it. So let's go ahead and talk about how do we overcome fear so we can go ahead and do and chase and set goals of things we want to do, but maybe they're a little scary. So let's talk about that. 3 ways to overcome fear so we can go ahead and start doing more of the things we want to do, so we can set them up as goals. Again, whether it's marathon, running 50 miles, whatever it may be. Number 1 is just embrace the fear. Number 1, embrace the fear. We always think, hey, I shouldn't be scared, or let me just not be fearful, let me be brave. It's kind of silly. I mean, the truth is, there's nothing wrong with being fear. It's fearful. It's a feeling, right? So just acknowledge it, embrace it, welcome it. Hey, you know what? This scares me, and I'm a little fearful to do this. But you know what? You do it anyways, and that's how I feel with the 50-miler. Yeah, it scares me. I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of miles, 50 miles. Okay, I don't have to pretend I'm not afraid of it, or it's not fearful. It is, but you know what? Hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. So embrace the fear, welcome it, don't try to run from it, just embrace it. It is what it is, it's a feeling, that's all it is. Number 1, just embrace the fear, okay? Number 2 is actually just think worst case scenario. Think worst case scenario, because we usually paint this worst case scenario in our heads that really scares the living daylights out of us. Like for example, I could look at the 50-mile run, as, hey, I'm going to be out there, I'm going to fall down, there's going to be no one around, I might be dehydrated, I might, die, and what if I don't finish, and everyone's going to laugh at me, and then it's like we paint these scenarios in our head that's like, more often than not, they're not true. So think of worst case scenario. So for example, for me, what would happen? Okay, maybe I don't finish a race. Maybe I get to 30 miles and I bonk and I got to call it quits, and I try it again maybe 6 months later, or, I have to get picked up by someone. That's the worst case scenario is really not that bad. So think of worst case scenario and think it's not that bad. Our worst case is usually not as nearly what we think it'll be. So number 2, think worst case scenario, and when you really sit and think about it, it's not as bad as it may sound or we make it to be. So that's number 2. And number 3 is tell someone, and which I just did to you guys. Tell someone hey, you know what? I'm setting out to do this thing, and I'm kind of fearful of it. I'm kind of scared. Kind of like I'm telling you guys right now. Hey, I'm about to do this 50-miler, and yeah, it kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. There's some fear involved. So I think when you tell someone, you get rid of this notion that you have to be brave and you're all excited and you're not afraid of it, and which I think that's silly. Acknowledge the fear. It's fine. Tell people about it, because more often than not, what you'll find is people then come to your aid, come to your support and say, hey, you totally got this, you can do it, you're going to kill it, etc. So go ahead and tell people, how you're feeling, because more often than not, you'll get more encouragement and support than you initially had. So those are the 3 ways, guys, to get over fear, so you can go ahead and do and chase and set as goals whatever it is you want to do in 2016 or beyond. All right, so that's this week's message, guys. I hope it helps. I hope it gets you over whatever fear you might have of whatever you're out to do. If I can help you in that process in any way, reach out to me anytime. It's Mike@thewellnessbucket.com. Have a phenomenal week, and until next Monday, cheers.